Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with a pledge of allegiance as we do on every meeting. Behind the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Start off here. I hear a motion to adopt tonight's special meeting agenda. I hear a second. Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Vicious dog complaints hearing. Do we go?
So I circulated to the board letters from the Molly Messer and Rachel and Devin Fowler in connection with two separate incidences on the same day, alleging the involvement of the Bactas dogs killing their chickens. The Bactas were served with the notice of this hearing on the 5th of February from Constable Kerber, and it's a complaint under Poultney's Animal Control Ordinance adopted November 9th, 2010, specifically Article 17, which allows this board to have hearings on alleged vicious dog complaints. And that's what this hearing is. Typically, the board can take questions from the victims and the alleged owners of the dogs. I'll note that the Animal Control Ordinance, specifically vicious dogs, is when a domestic pet has bitten a person or another domestic pet or domestic animal while the offending domestic pet is off the premises of the owner or keeper, and the person, domestic pet or domestic animals bitten require medical attention for the attack. Such person shall file a written complaint, and that's what brought us here. Under Title 20, Vermont Statute Title 20, Section 3541, domestic animal shall mean those animals defined by Title 6 VSA Section 1151-2 and Title 6 1151-2 specifically defines domestic animal among other animals to include poultry. So in this case, we have poultry are domestic animals, and the alleged offending domestic animal are two dogs owned or controlled by Mr. and Mrs. Vodka. So with that sort of housekeeping being said, if this board wants to entertain, albeit you're probably going to hear from the victims, then probably maybe they'll just read their statement. I don't know, but it's up to the board how you want to proceed at this point.
Does the board wish to proceed?
They want to cite the letters. That'd be good.
You want to hear from victims?
Yeah, a review, yes.
Alan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Place to start.
Rachel? Devin?
Do you just want me to read my written statement?
Whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Okay, I'm just gonna do that. So in accordance to Article 17 Animal Control Hearings, I, Rachel Fowler, am issuing a written complaint for Raj and Danny Bhakta's dogs. On January 22nd, I checked on my chickens before leaving my home at 7 a.m., at which time they were alive and well. Upon returning home from teaching, I saw 3 of my chickens dead on the snow inside their pen. I then saw the entire fenced-in yard was covered with dog tracks. And then I noticed the tracks around my backyard. At that point, I opened my coop and found 3 more chickens dead, and 2 were missing. When my husband arrived home, we began following the tracks. After going around our neighbors' homes, the tracks crossed the road and reappeared in front of Raj and Danny Bapta's home. My husband and I knocked on the door and spoke with Danny. I asked her to contact Raj, who she said had left for a 10-day business trip. During the conversation, Raj stated that the chicken he found on his steps earlier in the morning that his dogs brought to him must have been mine. He also stated that this was the first time his dogs have ever done this, and that he'd get an electric fence. My husband then called the sheriff's department. And we spoke to a deputy and asked to file a report. Danny then called my husband's phone on January 22nd around 5:05. And she said, what can we do to make this right? We stated that we needed financial compensation. And we had not heard from the Baptas since January 22nd until last night, until last night when Devin and I walked over there around, I believe it was 2 or
A little after 2.
a little after 2. And just let her know. Danny, we asked if Raj was there as well. He was not. He was down getting the sauna ready at the river. And I asked if we could speak to him, but he wasn't available. And then Devin said, listen, we would like to handle this privately so we don't have to bring this all in front of the whole town and the community and the board.
That's exactly what I said yesterday.
Let it finish, please.
Why can't I talk about being
Okay. Let's,
my animals got killed?
I have recordings.
It's my phone.
let's calm down, please. Please.
Recordings. Recordings.
Please.
That's
I have
it.
recordings.
Let it finish, let it finish.
We're bluffing.
Come on, let's,
You'll have a chance to
yes, we all have a chance. Done.
So, we had not heard from them until last night. When I left for Shaw's, he came over and spoke with Devin. I'm unsure of what was said. He told me, but do you want to say, Devin, what was?
Raj walked over to my house. He really didn't know what to say to me. He handed me a bottle of whiskey and said that, is this it? I asked him, what are we going to do about this? And I promoted that the dogs need to be safe. The neighborhood needs to be safe. And God forbid somebody has to kill Raj's dogs. And then I said, where are we going to go from this? And he said that he was going to go try and find a letter today that Rachel sent. That was
Priority mail.
certified mail. So it did have to get signed for. And he was going to call me and we were going to take care of this. And I have recordings.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't matter. And that didn't happen today. And
And-
so now they're behind us saying stuff, trying to promote that. What I'm not, that I'm lying when I have recordings. That's what it's called.
Please stop talking while we're saying our
Yeah,
case. We won't have the
let's-
time.
Let's hold order, please.
But can you guys get him to stop?
Hold order, please.
Just
Threatening
stop.
behavior that you did.
Please, hold on. Hold order, please. Continue.
That's it, son.
This is what we're dealing with. This
Please
is our neighbor.
continue.
Just stop. I sent a letter to them on January 27th. I have the receipt. I have the receipt from the post office.
Recorded.
Take it easy.
This is being
This
recorded.
is
I
being,
want him physically with all his him because you can see me great. Everybody knows me.
Take it, chill.
Nobody's
fine, let's continue. With our.
No, I want him to see him.
So
I was sitting right in front of him.
he just wants him to be seen. After Raj came last night, my husband actually was completely on his side and felt really good about it and was happy. And he was like, I don't understand why you're not happy about this, Rachel, because he was supposed to reach out today. Because I heard through the town that he's reached out to Molly Messer and he's reached out to Sherry. But me, as his neighbor, he has not reached out to me.
All my neighbors.
I'm your next door neighbor. I would like him to stop speaking while I'm having my turn. I want to include, we have seen these dogs numerous times off leash with no owner in sight. We have not once said anything. We actually have looked out for the college. When we see weird people there, we go to his brother and say something because they're part of our community and we don't want this negativity and to feel that our neighbors aren't part of us as a whole. Because I moved here to live with my husband who's been here for 25 years because of that. Because you guys are such a wonderful community that stands by each other and does the right neighborly thing. These dogs are no longer capable of remaining in our neighborhood as they are now hunting for fun. They have developed a very high prey drive and are no longer safe in our community. And I would like to add that when we went over to the house, I was emotional. My husband was emotional. There were no threats. He carried over one of my dead chickens to show them that here is a dead chicken. And then when I tried to speak with Raj, the conversation wasn't going anywhere. And I chose to leave the home instead. And then I issued my letter. I came to you guys as I wanted to follow the direct command. And I gave you guys a copy of the letter that I sent. And I do have a copy of the receipt that they had to sign for the letter, which they told my husband last night they couldn't find, but they were going to because he wanted to make amends to this.
Had to be legally signed.
So that's what I have to say for right now. I do have my neighbor here who, if he needs to speak on our behalf of our response when we went over to speak with Danny on the 22nd after finding all of my chickens dead. He's more than glad to do that. He wasn't in the home when I was speaking to Danny and Raj on speakerphone, but he was there to speak on that if you guys have any questions. Devin, do you have anything you need to add?
Not that I can say here.
If anybody else would like to speak on it?
Okay. Thank you. Molly?
My wife wasn't able to come tonight. I'm Ryan Messer. I'm here for her. Rod actually did reach out to us, as she said. He came to an agreement with us that we are comfortable with. I have no hard evidence that it was his dog, just hearsay. And from having a meeting with him, the dog's at my feet. He has put up electrical fences and everything. I do believe he's doing what he can for the point in time. So for right now, he has made things right with us, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. And Sherry?
This hearing doesn't involve the,
Okay, yeah, it's in file.
with the Roberts. I did get a statement from, Sherry Roberts. I think she emailed it on this past Sunday. I have stated that, depending on the outcome of this hearing, we could have another hearing if she felt it was needed. She advised me that she would come here in support of the Fowlers and the Messiers. That's why she's here.
Okay. What's that? Yeah, she.
Hey,
Okay,
Sherry here with you, Chris, or? Oh, okay.
I actually do have something to add. When someone's not man enough to walk across the street and shake hands.
okay, hang on. We're gonna stop right there. Let's stop right there.
5 children, shame on you, sir.
Hey,
Shame on you.
let's go. Hey, that's enough. We're here for just what, we're here for facts. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna run an orderly meeting, please. Raj.
First of all,
I like to talk
go ahead.
and just kind of picture. So my husband had left for California on a business trip. I was home with my 5 children. They showed up at our house unannounced, and he was losing himself, screaming and hollering and swearing, where I had to literally shut the door, tell the kids to go upstairs, because they all had followed me.
I'm gonna pull a Raj.
Upstairs.
Wow.
Hey, no, you're not. Listen, I'm gonna ask you to leave if this keeps up. Now, I've had enough of this.
And why?
She is speaking.
Next to Devin.
That's it.
Are you sitting there?
One person speaks or you're going to leave. Understood, everyone?
And he kept swearing, which like, I'm happy to repeat what he had said,
Go ahead,
but it's inappropriate with my children here.
but just insert, earmuffs.
We don't need to hear it.
That's right.
That's just.
I don't think.
No, we don't need to hear it.
And
Every
he
expletive you
showed
can
up
imagine.
with the dead chicken in his hand. And Rachel was crying and I felt bad, but I was just shocked. But apparently, like, my shocked state wasn't empathetic enough. So then she started yelling at me for not showing enough empathy when I was just in complete shock. And I was just in so much shock that I like didn't even know to like what to do next other than say I'm sorry. I finally like got myself together, asked the kids to go upstairs, and told Rachel to come in, and was trying to have a calm conversation away from her partner because I felt really threatened, and it was like an aggressive behavior that I'm not used to, especially at my doorstep when I
Women
didn't
alone with their
expect
kids,
it.
you're talking about being a man.
Babies. And she had left her number, and I told her that my husband will be in touch. I didn't say when that I said I'll make sure that my husband gets in touch. And he couldn't call her back right away because he was in on a plane ride. I couldn't get a hold of him. So then I called her back. Or maybe I spoke to him. I don't know. It was just like a big blur. So then I called her back after she had left. And then I don't recall the exact conversation, but all I know is that 10-15 minutes later, someone else, that her husband called me back on my phone and said, if you don't show up at my doorstep with $1,000 cash, there will be consequences. And word for word, this is what he said.
I have the call log.
And
Devin,
you, and
stop.
you,
I can't sit
and
here
Rachel,
like that.
I know you were there listening to this because I heard your comments in the background,
Liars.
telling him what to say. Like, tell them that these are my family, these chickens are my family, and that to trying to get him to say the things to justify his threat. Going up, and he said things
I'm
like,
shooting your
you're
dogs.
rich, you should be able to pull this off. You should have $1,000 cash probably in your pocket. So you better show
You
up
rich people are
within
everything
1
that's wrong.
hour. Would show up within 1 hour with $1,000 cash. And that's when I got really scared and I called my husband and my friends. And I had asked to get a hold of a police officer because I was alone. And I was gonna be alone for the next 10 days with all my children. And that was that.
And if I may follow this by saying, first of all, trying to keep my passions at bay, because when somebody comes over and threatens your wife and your children your way, it naturally excites passion. And to hear them lie through their teeth.
Is this necessary?
Yes. As to the matter of the facts, we first of all cannot even prove and have no evidence that the allegations are true, right? We've heard this from Ryan. We don't know. Number one, as a matter of fact, based on the numerous lies that I know as a matter of fact that they are telling, I doubt that they are beyond making up following of dog tracks, which, by the way, I don't know how you do across a road. What we do know is that they came in screaming and hollering, threatening my wife and prompting calls to the police for protection. All right. The number two, yesterday, coming over as sweet as sugar pie yesterday, I just want to make things right, dude, blah, blah, blah. All this BS that you were speaking, when in fact you're trying to engage in a shakedown with no potential evidence to show against it and lying through your teeth again and again and again, putting everything on social media, and then coming in and saying you believe in being neighborly, and then this crying.
No, it's all right.
Okay, go, no, let's not,
So,
Can we choose language? It's not inflammatory.
yes,
It's
just
okay. It's all right.
Lie?
calm it down, please.
Lie is a word.
No, this is okay. It's okay.
We've heard both sides of what's happened. Did anybody see the dogs themselves?
Can I make a comment?
Just one thing, I can bring the dogs in here right now. They're in the car. If the board would like to make an
No,
inspection,
do
as to whether
not
these
wish
dogs
that.
are vicious.
Can I make a comment?
That's,
I promise,
Thank you for your time. I'm sorry to be bothering you.
you're not bothering, we're just getting off and we just want,
I did not see the dogs personally with my eyes, but I did go out and I followed tracks all the way around my house, around her chicken coop that did lead across the street, right back to their porch.
Was the street clear? How do you?
Sir, I've been hunting deer my entire life. I can follow some of the tracks, and I can tell you, if I don't have a dog, I know her dog's always leashed. They're only set of tracks that were coming to and from your house.
okay,
So I just want to say that when we came over, like I said, emotions were high, as they would be to anyone who found all of their chickens, their livelihood, their friends, their passion. Like, his kids come over and feed my chickens. Like, they're not just chickens, okay? And I have seen the dogs off leash since they moved to town, and I have not said a word. And I know we have a leash law where you need to be within voice command or on leash. And I have never ruffled feathers. If when I called and spoke to him on speakerphone in their home, because he could talk to me on the phone then, if he had just simply said, I'm sorry,
I
as
said
soon
I'm
as I
sorry.
get back, I'm gonna make up for this.
First thing out of my
I
mouth.
don't even think I
hang on,
would
Raj.
come to the town. But then when I found out that Molly's chickens also got attacked and that they were the same dogs from Sherry's, I am just really concerned. It's not about people. I grew up with Akitas and they were the friendliest dogs ever to people. Once their prey drive got kicked in, you cannot stop it. They go into hunt mode and they don't stop. That's why the dogs are going from coop to coop to coop. As for the electric fence, I don't know, but it would have to be wireless to be installed right now. If it's wireless, if we lose power, the Wi-Fi is no longer on, keeping that fence and the dogs safe and us safe,
Okay,
because it's about the dogs.
mhm.
Because as we stated to them, because we don't want to kill anybody's dogs, Title 20, Chapter 193, Domestic Pet or Wolf Hybrid Control, the right to kill domestic pets or wolf hybrids generally. A person may kill a domestic pet or a wolf hybrid that suddenly assaults him or her, or when necessary to discontinue an attack upon the person or another person, provided that the attack or assault does not occur while the domestic pet or hybrid is restrained. A domestic pet or wolf hybrid found wounding, killing, or worrying another domestic pet or wolf hybrid, a domestic animal or fowl, may be killed when the attendant circumstances are such that the killing is reasonably necessary to prevent injury to the animal or fowl. If I was there, I would have shot those dogs to save my animals.
100% believe it.
Okay,
And now I can't
never
even
mind.
let my,
Talk about killing the
excuse
dog.
me,
No.
I'm still talking.
please, Raj, please.
Okay, sorry. Pardon me.
I just want to be able to let my cat back outside. And I want to be able to go out with my dog on his leash that I walk him on and know that they're not going to run across and attack my dog, because I don't want to do that. My husband said that. Sherry has said that. I don't want to kill anybody's pets. I just
Okay.
want to know that we're safe and that those dogs are safe, because they shouldn't be the ones that are being punished either.
Okay. Any other, are you a witness?
I am. My name's Sheila Jones. and I've worked with Raj's dogs quite a bit. When they first got these dogs, they were trained to be off leash on their property, and their property is very large, so it's, maybe seems like they're off leash in town, but they're not. They are very well behaved dogs. They come on command. Even if they're always within voice shot when they're on the property with one of the kids, with myself, with Raj, with who's with them. When they went away on vacation, they were with their caretakers, and they probably didn't have as much exercise as they do normally get because the kids take them out often. So I believe that some of this happened because of their need for exercise is where it maybe started. I apologize. I feel bad that some chickens have gotten killed. It's terrible. But I will let you know, the minute there was an issue, Raj called and asked if I could help, put the GPS fence up, which doesn't run on Wi-Fi. It will be on for them, no matter what. And they're responding very well to it. And I guess I just want to say that, the dogs are off leash, but they're on their property, and they're very well behaved. They're good dogs. And I understand the drive for, hunting once they get that into their blood, but they obviously have that under control now, and hopefully everything can just settle in.
Have the dogs gotten, has the dogs gotten off the property since these events took place?
They have not. How would they know? Because they didn't even know they were off the property when they were at Sherry's coop. Had to
Well,
be
that's,
posted on
I'm just,
Neighborhood Watch.
I'm asking people that were taking care of the dogs.
So right
Have
now
you
they're
seen them
on
off the
leash.
property?
Right now they're on leash because both of them have pneumonia. They've come down with pneumonia. They haven't been off leash
No.
in 8
Has
days.
any of the other witnesses here that filed complaints like you just said, how would they know? Have you seen them off since?
No, I have not. I haven't seen any more tracks on my property.
I haven't even heard the dog, so I'm not really sure where they are. They're in their
Okay.
house 'cause they're sick.
Now, it seems like we got some problems between, we have some situation, there's some hard feelings. I wish we could work those out, but the board can't. We're not psychiatrists or psychologists or,
So I just get singled out in the event.
no. Don't, you misunderstood me. Please don't shake your head. We're trying.
I'm just trying to calm myself down. It's not 'cause I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
no.
All right, okay. That's good. I don't know how we're gonna take care of this between you guys and the Bach dogs.
That's all good.
That's all good?
Yeah. There's no worries.
Yeah. They just threatened to shoot the dogs. We didn't threaten, we.
Just leave him
no.
alone.
Yeah.
He's
Let's
trying to-
work this out calmly and
He's
rationally,
obviously a bully
please.
and it's okay.
He's obviously a bully and it's fine, and he can flex and do what he wants. It's okay.
You're bullying my wife.
Could we please work this out calmly and rationally? If we can't, then we'll keep it under wraps, but if the dogs, has Raj been, as the sheriff gone to Raj's,
I think so.
about this complaint?
Yes, and then Paul told me information that he wasn't supposed to tell me because I called Ricketts and he said it's still an open case. So we shouldn't even be discussing it, is what I
Okay,
was told by
then we
Ricketts.
won't discuss.
The police came to me and said that he's just, checking in on me, but there's really no case because there's no proof that the dogs were on their property, even though I understand that you're gonna follow the tracks, but there's as far as the police is concerned, there's no hard evidence.
But they were at Molly's.
And I'm also confused why the police officer told us to bring a letter to you guys and stuff if you guys called to tell us to stay away. It really confuses me, actually.
Devin, just go because
Well, you
you're not
mailed it
gonna
instead
get
of
me.
bringing it in person.
Well, you didn't get it.
Now, was this is what I don't know, what the board feels or sees, but they see that the dogs weren't actually visibly seen killing the chickens, but something did kill the chickens. Dog tracks. Excuse me. We do have a person that does deer hunt It isn't hard to track a dog. I tracked a person when they ripped up the,
I can say.
Anyway. it isn't, please, I'm speaking here. The dogs will be kept, with your electric fence, it's GPS driven. So you won't, if power goes out, you're not losing your system because that comes off the satellite. Right, but powered
The
by
only thing you lose is access to seeing what's going on.
to see them, but
They still-
the units are still gonna work. Is it strong enough to knock the dogs, at least knock them down to deter them from jumping the line? It is.
And if they're out, are they taken care of when they're at the leash?
Yeah,
Be trained. So have these dogs been thoroughly trained with this electric fence?
They are trained. Right now, they got sick in the midst of this, so we've paused because of their.
Right.
you will continue the training.
Training very, very important. Because I have a fence with two dogs and they happen to adapt to it. But I could see them going through it at some point too. But they've never been through it.
Now, as far as compensation or whatever for the chickens between the victims and the Bakhtas, that's not up to the board to decide. That is a legal matter, and that's something we cannot take up here as a board.
Then what?
So if you're saying if you went to a lawyer, you said whatever lawyers, do, and you felt that he owes you money for your chickens, that's got to go through a lawyer.
But what was the case then that Dan Williams mentioned that happened a couple of years ago where?
I have no
people in
idea what
Foley
Dan
and the
Williams
town
said.
made them pay 200 at the meeting.
People can say stuff if they want. Sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt. Until I see it in black and white, I don't take it to heart. I don't know what that was. Anything can be,
I guess I'm just disappointed.
yeah.
That
Well, we can't do anything about it
I don't
because
know the money. It's just that I don't know why my chicken's livelihood didn't matter.
oh, they
my
do
life-
matter. We got it. If what the actions taken are the electric fence,
They matter to you guys. I know.
it does matter to us. But I really, I gotta be honest with you. It'd be a hard, cold day for me to ever kill a dog.
If it was killing your own dog,
I would probably hit it and hurt it.
well, my dad said if our Akitas killed our ram again, another sheep that.
Yeah, well, that's your own personal thing. If it was, I said hard pressed, if it was hurting a child or something, that's a different matter.
My pets are my children.
Yes, I understand.
That has happened to me. My dog was killed by another dog in my neighborhood, so I know all about it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying my own personal is, I'd have a hard time euthanizing.
And I would hope that between all of you, we can't do it, but between all of you, you can work this out. If the two families have really gone together and realized that, yes, it was devastating, it was investment, that you would work that out amongst yourselves. We can't make you do that. You have to take the next step. I would think as a community, you can make that step with each other. If you've already done it with a couple of them, you could work that out yourself. Because we all live in this community. We all want the best for everybody. So it's something that we hope, we can't tell you, we can't make you, but you will work it out on your own, for the best of everybody. That would be our hope.
That would be the best outcome of this.
I just want to tag on to that. I think that's the most important message. I have backyard chickens. I would be heartbroken in your case as well. I lost our dog to a hit and run on South Street. Somebody hit him and left. It's a sad but fairly ubiquitous thing. And what I think is important, I just want to make. I think it would be helpful if the community doesn't see an us versus them with the Bobcat. It's a great family. I rent an office from them. My son goes to school there.
I think that's what this board's trying to say.
That's what I was hoping for.
I think there's a tendency to say it's the it's the new wealthy people on the block and it's them versus us. I don't think it's productive.
He's also like whispering liar in my ears. I don't get that. That's right now. I wish I had that.
You were lying through your teeth.
Okay,
I'm sick of calling my wife a liar.
let's take, and that's it. You have an electric fence. If we can work, if you guys can work things out, that would be the best
I
outcome.
don't think he's gonna, but
We have to, like, going on the ordinance, we have to make it official to order the dogs. Training or whatever. Because there's like,
So if they're out of the, if you have them out on campus, out of the electric fence, that you have them under control, I guess that would be our only thing to say, that if they are out and you have them, that you have them under control with the leash, I think that's important. That's a law for everybody.
So we have-
each law is for your property, correct? It's not about the town, it's about your property. Like on my property, I'm supposed to follow the leash law of being on leash or within voice command, correct?
Oh, do we need a motion for that?
Yeah, even if it's on my property.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, one more before we, because we're gonna end up making a motion on this.
Okay, I just wanted to say, and I didn't come here to say this, but, I jog all over town all the time. And I run into so many dogs because people just leave them in the front yard, and it's terrifying. I do have to say that I've run through your campus one time and your dog was off leash, and that is the fastest I've ever seen a dog come back to an owner. I'm not a dog person. I'm terrified of dogs. Like you probably all heard me on some streets being like, ah, and screaming. Those are exceptionally well behaved dogs. I have to say that as someone who's terrified of dogs, like even just thinking about it. But I'm so sorry that happened. But I'm terrified of dogs, and I don't think I would mind being near their dogs, because when he did a little or something and your dog went right back to you, you were very apologetic and you were like, "Oh, sorry," no, I know, and it's not a people thing, but I do want to say, like, coming from someone who's terrified of dogs,
Okay.
very well trained. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
now, would you like to make a motion? Take the dogs and,
Just let him make the motion.
But is she a chicken?
Pardon me?
Is she a chicken?
Is-
Is she a chicken? Would you let those dogs loose in a chicken?
Well, that's what we're gonna-
In a coop.
we're gonna make a motion right now on this matter. Like I say, that's between the people to work that out.
I know.
Board can't
I
work
think my
that out.
husband's just upset because.
Yeah, well, we're gonna make a motion right now.
And we're restraining.
What would be a fair price for you to be happy?
Do that outside because it could get volatile.
Okay.
Let's, just, we got little ones in here and I don't really want.
I'd like to make a motion that we order the Boston dog confined or constrained to their property.
Through means of electric fence.
By means necessary to keep them onto their property.
Okay.
Whether it's electric fence or another means.
They can take them outside as long as they're in command.
Stay on the property, you see,
Property.
stay on the property.
But I can't walk my dogs that
No, I
Main
think you
Street.
can walk them.
Yes, you can, but they have to be leashed.
Right, yes.
Running free, we're talking. Do I hear a second to that motion?
Second that.
Any comments or questions by this board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Walk them on a leash, they just can't run free,
Duly noted.
okay?
And hopefully everyone,
Hopefully, you guys can work it out one way or another.
Well, before the community, when there are others who behave, we expressed our apology. First thing I ever did on anybody who alleged something, I said, first, I'm sorry, let's make this thing right.
Mhm.
But when you make lies up
Okay, let's
and pick things up, you're not going to get the same treatment as somebody who's treating people in the same way that you're asking to be treated. But you don't come over and threaten somebody's wife and then expect that they're going to be all nicey nice.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Take that out of the meeting, but that's what we got and anything else on the vicious dog complaint hearing? We
No,
have a motion. What, Patty?
Is that motion made and seconded? I mean,
Yeah. That was second,
Okay.
and
and you all voted in favor of it.
we all voted in favor of it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry to have caused this disturbance. And Sorry for wasting everybody's.
Sometimes this comes about in life and that's just the way it goes. It's something people just have to work on.
And it's not wasting our time. I feel like it's something that we need to have that communication, and I think that's really important. And hopefully it can be worked out and we can keep that nice little community, and people can work together. It happens, it's animals, I understand that, but it's nice that we can work something out. Everybody feels at peace and.
We've done that, I think, with 2 out of the 3, but we'll try.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay? That's it on the dog hearing. Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn from this special meeting? Do I hear a second? Your second, Val? Any comments or questions by the board? All in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion carried.